What's up, y'all? BK back here with another instructional video. In this one, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest misconceptions in the game of pickleball. One of the things I hear all the time when I'm out of the rec courts is the phrase forehand takes the middle. It's something I hear all the time. People always apologize when they steal someone's forehand or have their forehand stolen and they're complaining to their partner about not being able to take that forehand in the middle. So in this video, we're gonna address exactly when forehand takes the middle, when forehand doesn't take the middle, and how you should position yourself on the court so you have all your angles covered. Let's do it. If you are enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel below. It does help us support the channel a lot. You can subscribe right down here to BK Pickleball so we can continue putting out more great content for you. So by design, a pickleball court is split into two halves. You have this line down the middle that splits the court into two halves, and when you have two players, you usually have one player standing on the left side and one player standing on the right side. But to cover your angles and maximize your reach, what you want to do in this situation is you want to split this court into thirds. So what you're going to have is your left third, your middle third, and your right third. So when you split the court into thirds, it is our job to cover 2/3 of the court, and that's all we're going to focus on. Is one person is going to be covering 1/3 of the court and the other person is going to be covering another third of the court, and we're usually going to leave a third open. The way you're going to make this decision is based on where the ball is on the court. What you want to do is you always want to protect yourself for the speed up first and foremost. This is what's really important, because if you're in a dink battle, you can always take your time on dinks because it's a slower shot and you have a lot of time on hand. But speed ups are quick reaction shots where you don't usually have time to move and try to cover a speed up. So your number one goal while you're on the court is set up to protect the speed up. So let's say you and your partner are on the court and you're in a dink battle. Right here, we're going to assume that I just dinked the ball to that cross court side. So the ball is now in front of Ellie. So what she's going to do is her number one priority is to cover the down the line speed up. That is the easiest shot that her opponent can hit. So what she has to do is simply slide over and cover the right third of the court. Now what I'm going to do in this situation is, because I just hit that ball into that corner, my job is to now cover the middle speed up. So I'm going to slide from this side of the court as soon as I hit this cross court dink, and I'm going to shuffle over, and now I'm going to cover the middle third of the court. Once the serve and the return is over, this middle line does not exist anymore. So don't be afraid to step over and cross that middle line if that's what it takes to cover this middle, right? So if she's all the way at the line, she's gonna have her backhand out, cover the speed up, and I'm gonna have to cover anything that she can't cover. So even though I'm the left side player, I need to be able to cover every ball up until here. This is my ball. It doesn't matter that she's on that side of the court and it's her side. This is now geometrically my ball, because her job is to protect her third, my job is to protect the middle third. Now you might ask yourself, what happens if your opponent hits the ball to the other side, the last third? In this case, if your opponent does speed up the ball from that angle towards the last third of the court, that ball will usually go out. So if your opponent does speed up heavy cross court where they're trying to hit the last third of the court, if that ball goes into my backhand side, I am simply going to let this ball go because it's going to go out. Now, every now and again, your opponent might make a very low percentage shot and clip that line, but that's something that I can live with. What I can't live with is not taking away this high percentage middle speed up. Now, the only space that your opponent has to really attack the left third with a high percentage shot is a dink cross court. So if they dink the ball cross court, now what I'm gonna do is go from this middle and simply take my time, come over here with a simple shuffle step, and now we can go back into our dink battle. And as soon as I move towards this side of the court, my partner is gonna follow suit, and now they're in the middle. So if I come here and I dink this ball down the line, it is now my job to simply sit here and protect the line. So I'm gonna be able to protect everything up to here. And even though it's Ellie's backhand in the middle, that is now her ball. It doesn't matter that it's not her forehand. Geometrically, it is my job to now cover this down the line. So I'm gonna sit here waiting for a counter, and it is now her job as the female with the backhand in the middle. None of that matters. Geometrically, it is her shot, and I'm gonna let her have that because that's the angle that she needs to cover, which means I don't have to worry about flipping back and forth between my backhand and my forehand. So to work on this shot, this is one of my favorite drills. This is a drill that a lot of pro players do when it comes to working on covering the middle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna partition the court in thirds, and you're gonna play 2/3 of the court. So right here, I have some markers set up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be playing sideline all the way up to the markers. This is my zone, and this is what I'm covering. So we're gonna have 2 people on the other side that are gonna play full court, and I'm gonna be solo here playing sideline up to the markers. My job is to cover all of this and know when to come cover the middle and when to stay out wide and cover my line. It should look a little something like this. So we're simply gonna start off with some dinks. What I'm trying to figure out is whether I need to be covering my line or covering the inside. If the ball is out in front of me, I'm gonna sit at this line to cover that line speed up. But once that ball goes cross court, this is where I'm gonna hover in the middle to try to make sure I'm ready for a speed up down that middle. So as long as the ball is down the line in front of me, I'm gonna cover the line. But once I push that ball out wide, I'm out here in the middle. That allows me to come cover this spot and make sure I'm on the offense, covering every possible scenario that they can do on me. So I'm gonna stay here. Once I go cross, I come middle, back to the line, push that ball out wide, stay here in the middle. Now I'm on the offense. Back to my defense as I'm on this line, making sure I'm ready for a speed up if it does come my way. So here I am, trying to make sure I'm in the right position, cover my line if it's down the line. So right there, that speed up, because the ball was right down the line, I'm hovering, sitting on my line on my backhand side because I know my job is simply to cover line to my inside pocket. Anything past this is my partner's ball because the ball is on this side of the court. So as she sped up into my inside pocket, I'm already ready on my backhand to punch that ball. So once again, if I push the ball out wide, I'm gonna stay in the middle. If they dink it back cross court, I have time to move over. And as long as that ball is down this line, I'm gonna hover on my line. Once I go cross court, I'm gonna come back into the middle. So every time she dinks, I have time to move over on that cross court. So I'm not really worried about that corner if the ball is all the way out wide. Once I push this out wide, my only concern is the middle speed up. Oops, sorry. But that's the ball you're looking for. As soon as you push that ball into that corner, it's your partner's job to cover the line and my job to now cover this middle. So as soon as that speed up comes in the middle, I'm sitting on my forehand side, ready for it. If I push the ball down the line, I'm ready on my backhand waiting for this speed up. But if I push the ball cross court, I'm ready on my forehand again, waiting for this speed up. So this way, I'm always in position to cover whatever ball I need to cover from that third scenario. So when you play this drill, play it out to 15 points, have your partners rotate in and out so everybody has a chance to play on this side and work on their court movement. Hope that video helped dispute any misconceptions that you might have about the game of pickleball and who covers the middle. I hear all the time that in mixed doubles, the male player should take the middle, and a lot of the times forehand should always take the middle. So hopefully this video helped you learn who's gonna take the middle and when you should position yourself to cover the middle or to cover your own line. So make sure you follow these when you're out on the courts, and I guarantee that your game will skyrocket. As always, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe below to BK Pickleball. I put out a lot of instructionals and paddle reviews on this channel, so make sure to subscribe below. Also follow me at BK_Pickleball on Instagram. I put out a lot of great content on there as well, especially short form. Comment below what other videos you'd like to see me do. Like the video, share the video, and until next time, I'll see you later.